Hello everybody, I'm Emre. I'm from Turkey. In this channel I'm going to be cooking traditional Turkish dishes in every video. And today I am going to cook menemen, which is Turkish omelette. Menemen is a very cozy, very simple, and of course super delicious dish. If you like these kind of dishes, like super easy to make, at the same time super delicious, and which is suitable for eating any time and day, then keep watching. Before we start to make our menemen, I've got a trick for you to peel tomatoes. You know, peeling tomatoes are like sort of a torture. Yeah, torture in kitchen. So I've got a trick for you. Today we are going to use 5 middle-sized tomatoes. So using this technique is not very essential, is not very necessary for this recipe, but I'm showing this to you for some other recipes that you need to use more tomatoes. What I'm doing to peel my tomatoes is putting or making crosses with my knife on the bottom of tomatoes, and I'm putting them in the simmering water. Simmering water is important because if the water is boiling, then the tomatoes are going to be cooked very easily. If the water is cold, the technique is not going to work. So the water should be simmering. This is essential. I'm putting the last cross on the bottom of my tomato and putting it in the boiling water as well. So after just a couple of minutes, after 1.5 minutes let's say, we are going to take them out from the pot and we are going to put it here in the water which is with ice. Then we are going to peel the tomatoes with our hands and it's gonna be super easy. I took the tomatoes from boiling water and I put them in the cold water here. Now you can see how easily it's peeled. See? It's not going to take more than 20 seconds to peel one tomato with this technique. After we peel the tomatoes, what we need to do is to cut them into cubes. I'm gonna cut them into middle-sized cubes. I don't want them to melt while they are cooking in the pot. This is why I'm not going to cut them into really small cubes, but I don't want them to stay really big in the pot as well. This is why I'm not going to take very big cubes out of them as well. So middle-sized cubes are always the best. Now, as you can see, I have here a tomato which is not very ripe. What I'm going to do is to take smaller cubes out of that. So it's going to be cooked better and it's gonna get softer when it's cooked. This is why I'm not going to feel it in my mouth like so harsh. If you have vegetables which are not so ripe, before you cook it, cut them into smaller pieces than the other ones. To start with cooking, we need to put our butter, which is 1 tablespoon, and 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil for sure, the great company. I'm going to wait until the butter is melted and cooked. I want to take out the milky smell of butter, so I'm gonna roast it a bit with olive oil. But I need to move fast because I'm using a copper saucepan, as you can see today, and it gets hot really quickly. This is why I need to move fast. The butter melted very well and it started to cook, it started to get brown. This is the time to add pepper. I'm using 1 big-sized Italian pepper, a green Italian pepper. First I put peppers because for peppers it takes more time to get cooked than tomatoes. This is why I put peppers. I'm just gonna roast them for about a couple of minutes in the saucepan, then I'm going to put the tomatoes. The perfect smell of butter kills me. It's the best smell in the world. If you follow my videos, you might know that I love butter and I use it almost in every recipe. I love it because butter is like something super delicious, at the same time super healthy, and it goes really good with everything, almost everything. So what can be better than this? I roasted the peppers very well, so it's time to put the tomatoes. Now I'm gonna give them a nice stir and then I'm going to leave them on the stove for about 15 minutes. Tomatoes are going to cook very well, they are going to get very soft. They are going to leave all the water inside them, and then they're going to absorb it again. Then it's going to be time to add the other ingredients. Now we are just going to wait for about 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes, tomato left its juice and then absorbed it again. So it's time to add the other ingredients, which are 2 eggs. I'm going to crack my eggs in a small bowl here because I don't want to drop any eggshell inside my food. This is why I am going to crack them in the bowl, and then I am going to add them in the saucepan. Here we have 2 options. We can either mix the eggs and the other mixture, or we can just leave them like this on the top. They both are traditional ways, and my way, I mean the way I like the most, is to mix them. So I am just going to mix them gently, but not too much. By the way, if you do not like very dry omelettes like me, then you should not cook it so much. When we ensure that the eggs are totally cooked, then it's gonna be time to remove the pan from the stove. So I just mix the eggs and the mixture. Now it's time to put cheese. I am going to use Kolot cheese, which is a local Turkish cheese. If you do not have this, or if you do not have chance to have this, then you can just remove it, because this is not from the traditional recipe. This is my touch to menemen, but it goes great with menemen. Also, if you do not have a chance to find it, you can use any kind of cheese that can melt. It's going to work. While it's cooking, it should be low heat, not too much, because as I said, if it's medium or high heat, the omelette is going to get so dry, and this is not something that we would like to see. Now for seasoning, we can add 1 pinch of black pepper, and with the other hand 1 pinch of salt. I'm not using the same hand for this because I don't want to mix my salt with black pepper. This is why I used different hands for this. As a final touch, I am going to add 1 pinch of dry chili, which goes super good with menemen, believe me, and 1 or like 2 pinches of finely and freshly chopped parsley. After approximately 20 minutes of preparation, this is our menemen over here. It's looking great, I'm sure it's super delicious too, and it's smelling great as well. I wish there was a technology to send you the smell. If there was, I'm sure you would have tried to make it at home. Don't forget to leave me a comment about any specific Turkish recipe that you'd like to learn how to make. You can write that in the comment box underneath the video. And if you'd like to see me cooking more Turkish traditional dishes, for sure you can subscribe to my channel for free. So afiyet olsun, bon appetit!